Good evening, and thank you for joining us as we look to the future of our great city and the potential of what lies ahead for Las Vegas. It's an exciting and fulfilling time, and one which I have chosen again to share virtually, as I did last year, still remaining sensitive to possible health exposures. So whether you're watching online, over a social media platform, a streaming channel, or on KCLV Channel 2 in the comfort of your home, your office, or elsewhere, welcome. Tonight, as I think about our incredible and exciting city of Las Vegas, both in retrospect and looking ahead, it's with a sense of great pride in what makes us unique and so successfully strong. It has been because we choose to be a diverse family with positive attitudes, innovative and ambitious energy, and one in which we all participate. We have created an expectation among ourselves that we must all work together to maximize the highest quality of life for each of us. And for the 7th year in a row, the Human Rights Campaign has recognized this effort by rating our city at 100% in its Corporate Equality Index, applauding our choices to be a mix of peoples who work closely and cohesively. Because of our approach, we've been an extremely strong force in welcoming tourists back to our city, not only from neighboring states, but too from around the world as restrictions ease. We must continue to count on each other to help in restoring our lives and bringing our battered economy back to its full growth potential. Tonight, I'll take a brief look back into 2021 to what we accomplished despite those challenges and to some of what we anticipate doing in 2022. This is the reward of being Las Vegas. As we have already begun the process, it will be known as the year the city became a happy place again and began feeling more like itself. And slowly, as business began to rebound, we regained the much needed confidence to keep pushing forward, feeling good about ourselves and in our own skins. Tourism numbers began to rebound and bounce back as COVID numbers retreated and as our country opened its borders to international travelers. While there are new scares today, we have already seen a boost to travel numbers flying in from abroad, which confirms the renewed vigor and excitement that Las Vegas promotes and enjoys. The Las Vegas International Airport has been witness to these relaxations and confirms the increase in the numbers of passengers, 4.2 million already back in October. Our nation's travelers, convention goers, and tourists are returning with unimaginable excitement as the shutdowns relax. For over a decade, among other assignments, and following my husband's 12 years doing so as well as mayor, I have had a seat on the board of directors at the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. And yes, the 2020 shutdown was devastating, for the LVCVA for decades had been the world leader in the industry. Fortunately, this past year, convention business began its slow resurgence. While all hotel properties and businesses in Southern Nevada benefit from this return, of singular impact is that of CES, the Consumer Electronics Show Convention. This is happening right now, January 5th through the 8th, once again, putting heads in beds all over town. Added in the heart of downtown has been a new convention site, the International World Market Center's Expo in Symphony Park. This convenient locale is thriving with new bookings and activities that complement the annual Las Vegas market for wholesale furniture, accessories, clothing exhibits, which have been going on and expanding since the market opened in 2005. And beyond the convention business upon which all hotels thrive, for our entire Southern Nevada, Las Vegas market, nothing has made a bigger impact than becoming home to 3 major league sports teams: the Golden Knights, the Raiders, the Aces. Fans from around the nation and even from around the world are coming in droves, and not only for these major league events, but also for our UFC, the lights, motorsports, and other sporting competitions. The crystal ball keeps turning in motion for our next long-term visions of bringing Major League Soccer, the NBA, and perhaps even Major League Baseball into Las Vegas in the nearer future. The name Las Vegas is certainly the most valuable brand on the entire planet. While all of Southern Nevada has beautiful areas in which to live, do business, and thrive, as I told you last year, all roads lead to downtown, and they do. The Interstates 15 and 515 right into the Las Vegas historic core. Redevelopment has made this historic center a most popular place for huge holiday entertainment and even for small gatherings. The outstanding historic hotels and the giant Circa have multitudes of gaming, sports book, and dining offerings, and also door-to-door fun and excitement. The Fremont Street Experience, the Fremont East Entertainment District, and 18B, the Arts District, are neighborhood gathering spots with their own incredible, unique vibes. Whether enjoying great times visiting boutique restaurants, art galleries, specialty shops, antique stores, and a new addition to be rising to the top of places to be, Brewery Row. The city purposefully has offered many incentives to attract small businesses to the downtown area through opportunity zone advantages, as well as through a multitude of tax and financial investment incentives. Most recently, in the past 5 years, particular enthusiastic support has been given to creating craft breweries, wineries, wine rooms, tap rooms, and distilleries, specifically within the 18B Las Vegas Arts District, to create Brewery Row. This intriguing neighborhood boasts 7 breweries, 3 tap rooms, and a craft brew scene which continues to be ramping up. So plan an evening out with our ever-expanding intimate downtown with restaurants galore and our beautifully refreshed and well-lit Main Street to have a great time and sample all of the inviting, differing offerings. Then head onto a show nearby at the Smith Center, take one of our zip lines under the world's largest video screen FSC canopy. Much is on the drawing board to increase enticement in 2022 in the downtown. Always planned to bring world-class stature to Las Vegas, Symphony Park was designed to become our Southern Nevada's cultural community center. And as in most other magical large cities in the world, the center of great cities is home to the center of government, the core of health and medical care, a place of thriving financial business, the center for culture replete with museums, the performing arts mecca, and a home to high-end residential life. This spring, we will see Southern Land Company from Nashville, Tennessee break ground on a new residential mixed-use 5-story project following the success of the already open first complex, Auric, and also build out a 5-story, 350-unit development in Symphony Park. Thereafter breaking ground in the summer Another unit will be developed out of a 22-story residential building, adding more than 550 residential units to their downtown Las Vegas holdings. As you know, more than 350 units have already opened in 2021 nearby at Park Haven, a Texas group where residents love the convenience of living in this jewel of the desert and being in the heart of the city. As an aside, opening imminently is VIX, easy to access and find with its iconic neon replica of the historic Vegas VIX signage and also tucked nicely into Symphony Park. This 24/7 Italian restaurant has found its home in one of these retail areas and offers live music, a little bit of Stoney's theme, and proposes a menu to entice the most selective diner. More new dining? Popular local chef and restaurateur James Trees plans to expand his Al Solito Posto brand into Symphony Park, as he already has in his popular Esther's Kitchen at Maine and California, and in another Italian one in Tivoli Village. Downtown and Symphony Park are hot, hot, hot. Planned also to break ground in Symphony Park shortly is the new non-gaming dual brand AC Marriott Element by Westin Hotel, which is a 5-story luxury hotel including 440 rooms and 20,000 square feet of meeting and ballroom spaces for convention goers and guests who visit the World Market or any other site. How will you visit all of these great offerings in downtown? The hotels, the premium outlets, discount mall, Smith Center, FSE, the Arts District, the museums? That's so easy. Just get on the free, and let me say that again, free downtown loop shuttle to hit all the hot spots from around which you can choose by going to the city's Go Vegas app or simply taking a look at our website, lasvegasnevada.gov/downtown loop. Just park and ride and leave the driving to the loop. It's free. Stops are everywhere and right at the Strat if you're entering the heart of the city from the Strip corridor. Those are but a very few of the exciting projects that we have on the way this year, and there are more in the city's 6 wards. I believe in my council persons and in their consummate commitments and gratitude for their constituents and projects which they espouse. I'll touch on only a few of their individual efforts. First, change is minimal in our council-approved redistricting plans. Because of the enormity of population growth in the northwest part of the city in Ward 6, lines have had to be gently realigned so the demographics are equalized in each area to ensure that everyone is fairly represented. We'll start in Ward 1 with Councilman Brian Knutson, who has been deeply involved in the development of the Las Vegas Medical District. This summer, UNLV's new building for the Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine will open as the keystone public medical project for the entire Southern Nevada area and the city of Las Vegas. A strong healthcare investment and insurance for us all today and tomorrow. Future medical student graduating classes hopefully will gain residency programs in our hospitals or otherwise return to practice medicine in Southern Nevada after completing them elsewhere. Surely this is witness to history in the making for the promise of the highest quality medical care and treatment in our community. Of course, Ward 1 is also home to the future Charleston Boulevard Maryland Bus Rapid Transit Corridor as we continue to work with the Regional Transportation Commission. This is a must for addressing safe and efficient travel issues that affect life, business, safety, health, and sustainable traffic movement throughout the region. Charleston is a central artery in the city's transportation concerns, and adding rapid mass transit will benefit comprehensively the entire southern Nevada region and help to lessen traffic problems in our roadway system. Councilman Knudsen serves currently as Vice Chair of the Southern Nevada Health District, and among other many social service involvements which he serves, he has been excited to see much-needed different residential projects near completion in Ward 1. The very large and affordable housing complex at Decatur and Meadows Lane, Decatur Commons, with 60 units for seniors and 420 multifamily apartments. Ward 1 has been promoting new business development, affordable housing, medical investments, and diversification in his historic district. One such project now nearing completion that he has promoted is the new stabilized housing project designed specifically for seniors, Lindell Living, at Lindell in West Charleston. Former Assemblywoman, Councilwoman Victoria Seaman is always working to better the quality of life for her constituents. Committed since her election to conservation of taxpayer dollars, she continues to focus on resolve to the end of the Badlands controversy. Of course, restaurants and businesses have opened new doors in Ward 2, and fortunately many successfully survived the shutdown. In 2021, because she has consistently advocated for them, many new restaurants are opening. The refurbishment and upgrades of parks in Ward 2 are also on the top of her agenda, as done at the much-loved Bruce Trent Park this past year. Bruce Trent Park is, of course, the home to very popular Las Vegas Farmers Market, which brings farmers and garden growers from all communities and neighboring states into the market with their fresh produce, baked goods, and unique arts and crafts. This is a real treat to attend, so be sure to put it on your schedules. Councilwoman Seaman is very proud, as are we all, of our Las Vegas Sandpiper Swim Club Tokyo Olympic medalists, because the club's unofficial home is the Las Vegas Pavilion Pool in Ward 2. All were recognized upon the return to the city right after the Olympics by City Council, and each was given a treasured, coveted key to the city. Bo Becker brought home a gold medal. Erica Sullivan and Bella Sims each took a silver for Team USA, and 15-year-old Katie Grimes made the team. Recently, Councilwoman Seaman, an advocate for historical preservation, led the way to creating a historical display of the city's elected government officials from their founding past to our present. These photographs are on display on the mezzanine floor outside of City Council chambers, providing an accurate and memorable trip through the city's governmental history. Be sure to look. Ward 3 is comprised of much of the downtown federal, judicial, state, county, and city government facilities, the thriving business and the arts district, and Las Vegas's older neighborhoods in the east. As you may not know, unlike in other state municipalities, the city of Las Vegas enjoys no jurisdiction whatsoever over the Clark County School District, the 5th largest school district in the entire country. Our educational support by state statute only permits our support through before and after school programming. And that we have been doing for decades throughout the community, and especially focused in our most challenged inner city historic neighborhoods. During this last decade, the city began preschool intervention, taking the initiative on its own and breaking the iron fist of inactivity. Former Assemblywoman and elementary school teacher, Councilwoman Olivia Diaz, as such, supported and assisted in the educational involvement opening the new Strong Start Academy at Wardell. This facility, like other early learning programs, allows preschoolers a head start on their educations as they prepare for kindergarten, ready to read, or even are reading. Our city's preschool program has become a leading example of how important pre-K programs can be to the healthy learning development in children. Simultaneously, we've been adding another dimension to programming in this educational arena. Our 2 mobile schooling units called Strong Start Go, which are able to move into the hearts of these older founding neighborhoods. We are so grateful for much of the funding for these movable learning units have been made possible because of private donations. Committed to energizing and equalizing educational growth and opportunity for all Las Vegas, the Council will continue to pursue new avenues to help our children learn with top quality instruction and equal opportunities. What comes next? This year in Ward 3, we are into the design phase for the construction of the new City Hall Civic Plaza, south of Clark Avenue, across the street and adjacent to the new municipal courthouse on Irwin-Mulaski Street. This new project will make possible bringing employees all back to one central campus, affording constituents additional access, convenient service, and a public space for community gatherings. Also in Ward 3 is the booming Arts District, where soon to open is the English, a new boutique hotel on Main Street by the Marriott Autograph Collection and featuring celebrity chef Todd English. This intimate hotel will feature the chef's latest culinary adventure called Pepper Club. The restaurant will feature Mediterranean Japanese fusion cuisine and offer fresh cocktails. I know many individuals who have laughed at the idea of a new hotel in the Arts District a decade or so ago. But this is proof positive that the vision of what our downtown was intended to be is now happening. The city is also looking forward to the official opening of the renovated Nevada Savings and Loan Building at 201 Las Vegas Boulevard South. This project is already 100% leased and expected to be completed late summer. Jay Dapper and his team, its developer, is bringing standout restaurants like the popular Broken Yoke Cafe to the building that will still house the U.S. Post Office. An entrepreneur whose investment energized in the downtown, he has additional plans which include a new parking garage and retail space for more clientele. His focus has also been on the National Historic Registry's Huntridge Theater, which he's revitalizing, and as the city focuses on plans to the redevelopment of Circle Park nearby, it's a win. Exciting plans in Ward 3 lie ahead for the vacant and old Mission Linen building in the Arts District, housing a specialty museum and another inviting eatery. In Ward 4, Mayor Pro Tem Stavros Anthony has been a stalwart for his ward area. A 29-year veteran of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, he hosts events for the community at Police Memorial Park with sensitivity and pride. As a proponent of parks and open space development, Tregono Hills Park and the Durango Hills YMCA have been favored projects of his. Many beautiful communities, including portions of Summerlin, Desert Shores, and Centennial Hills, are in his care and have been benefiting from his efforts. Recently, Mayor Pro Tem Anthony opened a newly refurbished skate park and a new fitness facility at Gerheim Heights Park. And just for your information, Las Vegas boasts more than 100 parks and recreational facilities, and these are constantly being added to with amenities or are planned for refurbishments and regardless are provided with regular maintenance. One new addition coming soon is a new pickleball complex at Wayne Bunker Park. The design of this new complex is scheduled to be completed this year. This will become the top pickleball facility in the state for pickleball, which has become one of the country's fastest growing competitive sports. And just so that you know, it was through Mayor Pro Tem that the first pickleball courts were brought to Southern Nevada in Ward 4 several years ago. Ward 4 is also home to many of the business and shopping destinations in the ever-expanding Centennial Hills. Looking ahead, the location is also the planned site for a future College of Southern Nevada Northwest campus. As Mayor Pro Tem, Stavros Anthony has provided patient and stabilizing input to us all, and now being termed out in 2022, his presence and assistance will be sorely missed, especially by me as I continue on as mayor through to the end of 2024. Ward 5 is abuzz with activity as our 100 Plan in action ramps up and we experience the results of years of work and planning. Among the many accomplishments for Ward 5, Councilman Cedric Creer and I welcomed the NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal to the Doolittle complex a few months ago, officially opening the new Shaq courts. These two beautiful new outdoor basketball courts immediately became one of the most sought-after places for all ages to play basketball in Las Vegas. Nearby, the beautiful Queen of the Arts public art sculptures were added, and in 2022, the West Side Mural Project is next online. None of these projects would have been possible without private contributions from the Mayor's Fund for Las Vegas Life. Focused on livability, innovation, the future, and education, the fund is a vehicle for private partners to invest in solutions that address our community's most pressing challenges. We thank these partners for caring and contributing. Among others, the Howard Hughes Company, Icy Hot Foundation, and so many generous individual donors. Ward 5 is also home to the newly opened Legacy Park, the combined efforts of Clark County, the city, and individual donors once again. Former Commissioner Lawrence Weekly, also a former city councilman, spearheaded this special undertaking. Legacy Park was planned and created to recognize and memorialize many of the founding leaders of the historic West Side neighborhood. If you've not been to this park, you owe it to yourself to see the beautiful new art installations and read the historical inscriptions to learn more about some of our founding Las Vegans. While we're addressing the past, most sadly, we lost a very special Las Vegan when journalist Tom Hawley passed away a few months ago. The city ceremonially honored this treasured Las Vegan by naming a portion of Four Master Lane in Ward 5 for him on the street that runs in front of Channel 3, where he worked for decades. 2, Four Master Lane is adjacent to Rancho High School, where our gifted Tom Hawley graduated many years ago. In 2022, development will not be slowing down in Ward 5, as we have several new projects in the works and coming online very soon. First, we will open the new historic West Side farming facility, which marks the first community-based urban agricultural complex of its kind in the city. This hydroponic farm is located in the heart of Ward 5 and will provide a new local food resource, as well as becoming a job training site when it opens later this year. Assisted by a very generous donation from MGM Properties through the Mayor's Fund for Las Vegas Life, this project will be innovative and the first of its kind in the city, too. Excitedly, the city will also break ground in 2022 on a brand new 10,000 square foot workforce education and training center in the historic West Side School campus. This center will focus on entry-level skills building and training in advanced manufacturing, in the construction trades, information technology, and in healthcare pathways. Of course, Ward 5 is also home to our growing and fabulous cultural corridor, a centerpiece for the city's Museum Row. Among these is the Mob Museum, which has been recognized as the 5th ranked among all the most visited newer museums in the entire country. In fact, the museum recently celebrated its 3 millionth guest visitation too. Not to be outdone, and also in Ward 5, the Neon Museum, Discovery Children's Museum, and the Natural History Museum are also setting visitation records, and soon to be joining this cluster of Nevada historical-centric museums will be the National Atomic Testing Museum. Additionally, Councilman Creer is gathering plans to add an African American museum and cultural center as part of the West Side School acreage. And do not forget, the city celebrated something very special in birthdays in 2021. Last year in Ward 5 was the Plaza turning 50 and the El Cortez, a remarkable 80. Congratulations to Jonathan Jossel and the team at the Plaza, and most especially to Kenny Epstein, who also turned 80 himself, and to everyone at the El Cortez on their incredible and historic properties. And so phenomenally, too, the birth of downtown's newest giant in hospitality and gaming, celebration of Circa's entry into transformative Las Vegas life. Ward 6 remains the fastest growing area of the city as it continues to extend into the northwest. Councilwoman Michelle Fiore has multitudes of new housing projects and businesses, making her ward a booming landscape. The Sky Canyon 1,800-acre area continues to expand and be blessed with incredible energy and success. A new regional park in the area of Sky Canyon Park Drive and Moccasin Road is in the design phase for a massive new park, which hopefully will be unveiled later this year. In addition, the city and Sky Canyon developers plan to break ground on Officer Igor Soldo's park this year. Tragically, Officer Soldo and his partner, Officer Alan Beck, were killed in the line of duty in 2014. And this beautiful new tribute park will join the memorial park already opened in memory of Officer Alan Beck. Remember, too, that the city continues to work on the Sunstone community development near the Ice Age Fossils National Park site. Tenacious and energized, Councilwoman Fiore has been relentless in her pursuit of getting this much-needed project planned in Ward 6. This community will cater to military families who work at Nellis and Creech Air Force bases, providing residences and much-needed community amenities such as parks and schools. I'm proud of the work that Councilwoman Fiore has been doing with her constituents and stepping out innovatively and with determination. Ward 6 is already home to the treasured natural area in Floyd Lamb Park at Tule Springs. The park is becoming even more attractive as the newly renovated hay barn is becoming available for events, celebrations, activities, and even weddings. What a beautiful facility and a magnificent setting restored to its original magnificence. What has become equally significant to Las Vegas and the entire state of Nevada has been to diversify our economy. The city for over a decade has devoted a concentration on the expansion of technology. Whether it's been through extending wireless network connectivity to our most vulnerable and valuable residents, or by continuing to work in leadership as a business incubator, Las Vegas is already becoming known as a technology hub. And not just a hub, but an international innovation center as well. The essence of this effort has almost become compulsive, but it surely is comprehensive, determined, and without boundaries, extremely creative and intense. There are no limits to the brain and creativity, and the city realizes these values in the use and implementation of technology, both as a tool and as a necessity. Thus, the city has prioritized being on the cutting edge today as we move forward into tomorrow. In early 2022, the city will open its second International Innovation Center in downtown, creating even more working space for new tech businesses and products, and even more opportunities for personal and group interactions. To spur these creative conversations for resultant productivity, the city stimulates the popular Tech Alley monthly gatherings for startup companies and dreamers with robust enthusiasm and support. The Centers for Digital Government rank Las Vegas 9th in the entire nation's annual Digital City Awards, and thus endorses a multifaceted tech potential as it interfaces with all aspects of life in Las Vegas. Among so many other portals of use, we rely on our tech support in every way possible to gather critical and timely data on traffic patterns on our streets, in our parks, in our businesses, neighborhoods, law and safety enforcement areas, and in so much more. The Council and I are committed to investing precious tax dollars to assure that we stay current and advance all needed infrastructure updates and upgrades. What's in the works? You'll all be happy to know that orange cones are soon to hit their demise in the largest infrastructure project ever undertaken in the city's history, the Las Vegas Boulevard Improvement Project. It's more than halfway completed. In the spring of 2023, we will have no more of these little orange flowers or construction delays on that famed corridor in southern Nevada. We're proud of what's been completed, and along with everyone else, we can hardly wait. So hold on just a little bit longer. We will also continue to improve many of our streets in downtown in 2022, creating new public right-of-way with beautiful trees, public art, widened sidewalks that will be so inviting to residents and visitors, to established and new businesses, and which will be enticing to visionary new business interests and developers. And now another look in a different area. As is evident throughout the country, the population of those in need is not abating. Thus, Las Vegas will continue to focus on helping individuals caught in this frightening condition in our community. Whether it is the veteran in need, the child in need to find a family and housing, health, nutrition, or educational resources, families who need rental assistance, or aiding any of those who are experiencing homelessness. We are responding, and we will not give up. Our days and our funding are directed to those caught in the tornado of shutdowns, job loss, and overwhelming financial crisis. In 2021, the city reunited many homeless with their families elsewhere around the country. We serviced 850 families through food distribution partnerships and distributed more than $40 million in rental assistance to residents. The city has received $130.6 million through the American Rescue Plan Act to distribute according to the federal guidelines and specifications. In our very initial request for distribution application, we received in excess of 550 applications for grants, totaling in excess of $2.2 billion in requests. Be assured, we are diligently reviewing these applications to be certain they comply with the federal guidelines in hopes they'll be able to move on to a second round of plans for dispersing these funds in the not-too-distant future. We remain so grateful to our many not-for-profit social services and to our faith leaders and our religious community who work side by side with us and law enforcement as we work to break the cycle of homelessness. For certain, we know this is understandably a regional issue, and everyone has to be at the table to get the results that work. I am proud that the City of Las Vegas has taken a leadership role and moves forward with programs that are transitionally beginning to assist our most needy and most vulnerable populations. A positive resultant action? The city has officially opened Phase 1 of our expanded and much-needed Courtyard Homeless Resource Center. This facility allows for an additional 800 individuals at a time to have a safe place to be with access to myriad assistance services. As we committed to when we opened the courtyard, this too will continue to be a low-barrier shelter, meaning anyone can gain entrance to the facility for help and resources. A tool that has demonstrated already resounding success has been the creation and field circulation of our multi-agency outreach resource engagement teams, MORE, M-O-R-E, to which we add as we find funding available to do so. These multidisciplinary teams include service providers, social workers, and members of our law enforcement who work as one in reaching out in small groups to interface repeatedly with our homeless populations. These dedicated teams made over 15,000 individual contacts last year, and more than 4,200 people accepted some kind of service. Too sadly, many still remain resistant to help, but our MORE teams will continue their contacts. One additional program I want to highlight for you is that of our significant recuperative care center, a new concept as a transitional health facility. In Las Vegas, if you're homeless and have had a medical issue, or have had hospitalization and are released with no place to go to continue recovery, this care center is a place to do so. This is the only facility of its type in Las Vegas. What is incredible is that more than 56% of the patients who have thus far entered the center are no longer homeless after they've been discharged. None of this would have been or would be possible without our treasured frontline professionals who are out there helping people every day. Law enforcement, fire and rescue personnel, social workers, paramedics, EMTs, nurses, and doctors. Stretched beyond comprehension, they continue to do the most incredible of jobs. We're on bended knee in gratitude to each and every one of them. Safety and good health are our beacons, and they keep them forever lit. Thank you. As I always confirm, safety is and will always be the hallmark and priority of our city. For no one will live, raise a family, do business in, or visit a place that is not safe. Thus, purposefully, 64% of our city budget is devoted to public safety. Substantive data have brought measurable improvements to the department and its deployment of personnel in every area of safety responsibility. Among these has been having deputy city marshals increase their presence in the city parks by 40%, and scheduling changes altered to have additional law enforcement personnel available in crowded entertainment locales. Augmented by cameras and new equipment installed from our IT team, the parks and our public areas have enjoyed their leveraged and improved qualities for safety. Our Las Vegas Fire and Rescue Department conducted nearly 30,000 inspection-related activities in 2021 and will continue to ensure that our buildings are safe as inspections ramp up and are repeated on a regular basis. Calls are monitored and deployment is attended to with the greatest of efficiency. Our municipal courts in their brand new facility have expanded to the use of video court appearances for those who are unable to attend in person. The judges continue to implement several specialty court programs that have greatly reduced recidivism, the number of individuals who are incarcerated, and returned people to healthier and productive lifestyles. Several of these specialty programs have been replicated throughout the country because of their successful and highly innovative planning. So let's take a look at transportation. Tonight's address could not be complete without addressing transportation issues and their overriding importance to us all. Being a board member on the Regional Transportation Commission for the past 7 years, I've been witness to the additional challenges beyond population growth that both the recession and the pandemic have brought to bear on the RTC. Its stellar staff leadership has managed, with limited funding and far-reaching challenges, to stay abreast of our mobility needs and to concentrate on the future with community input and participation. The RTC has been planning for more ways to address moving pedestrians, bikers, cars, buses, commercial traffic, and is always seeking new mobility improvements. One of these is rapid transit. A BRT, bus rapid transit, is planned from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas into the downtown on Maryland Parkway, which will connect to other major corridors, including and expected in the not-too-distant future, Charleston Boulevard, for needed transportation into the expanding medical district. This is part of the on-board study that has been taking place so effectively for some time. In order for the economy really to rebound quickly and thrive, our eyes must always be focused on the future. But this cannot be in sacrifice of the immediate needs of travelers today. We must ensure that all of our infrastructure is keeping up with safety needs and efficiencies of Las Vegas, our state, and interface effectively in our regional area. There's a saying that oftentimes life is timing, and when it's right, see it and grab it or lose it. We are in one of these times. For you know that over $1 trillion of federal funding has recently been earmarked to repair the nation's infrastructure. That infrastructure means roads, bridges, tunnels, rail, airports, and so much more. And for decades here in Las Vegas, we know it means freight and produce passing through into the belly of the rest of the country. But for us in our hospitality industry, it most importantly means tourists, travelers, convention goers. We reap the benefits. So now is the time to expand the log-jammed lanes between Barstow, California and State Line, Nevada. Not using it as a photo op Band-Aid when a tourniquet's needed, but totally and permanently for all. These funds are there, the need is there, so I implore our federal and state officials and representatives to earmark some part of these $1 trillion taxpayer dollars to help the people of our state and nation. That money is supposed to be used for infrastructure improvements, And this is an improvement that is long overdue and benefits the entire country. This is not just a state and regional issue. Wake up. This is a critical national economic and safety issue. We must go forward. As I conclude this evening, before anything, I thank our incredible city manager, Jorge Cervantes, and his outstanding entire professional staff team. He and they make working in the city so incredibly worthwhile and meaningful. I'm so proud of our accomplishments, knowing they make them happen, as we all are beyond bullish on our future. Together, we are full charge ahead, positive and excited as we look forward into 2022. And for me, until I term out at the end of 2024 personally, I thank each of them and my own mayoral office staff, whom I love working with and without whom I'd be totally lost. And of course, I thank Las Vegas, which is recognized the world over for its gracious hospitality, its excitement and myriad entertainment offerings, and also in being one of the most diverse cities in the entire United States. Those are not just claims or numbers. They represent who we are and want to remain. Together, we can continue to make Las Vegas a beautiful home, a place where we all thrive. So let's keep at it, doing it all together, and with pride and gratitude for a giving and harmonious community as it is meant to be. So thank you all for joining me tonight. Here's to 2022 and beyond. God bless you. God bless Las Vegas, and God bless our entire nation.